Hello then folks, welcome back. This is Gnomes, and this is another live stream daily on weekdays of rigging and world building, usually that, yes. So, with no more delays, let's start with some soundtrack here. And so today I want to progress something important in the universal or mixed character. Oh, there's something weird about the elbow joint. Anyways, so here I'm going to Shift Alt Z for the overlays. We are going to also Shift Control Alt Z for the wireframe, which is better to look at. Here I'm going to this mode, viewport. Yes, this should be fine. And camera, well, this is not gonna affect the solid viewport shading anyways, so yeah, let's leave always by default. There's the compositor. There's some nodes doing some easy tricks. So here I'm going to reset this pose, and you see I have a list of tasks and to-do list. So revise mechanisms of this mixed rig setup with cartoony setups from many authors, many ideas, many tutorials, including the universal sonic melt rig, which is this one. There's a file that you can download from online for free. It's on Blender Artists Forum. So this is the universal sonic melt rig, and so here we see what interests me now. You see how rounded is the muzzle, right? Very different from what I'm doing, but the geometry essentially is the same, the topology, at least corresponding to the lower part. Then probably here it's a separated mesh, so this is like for more cartoony separated mesh. This is something that I don't think I can do very well on my type of rigging character. Is more organic. I think this would be dangerous for this kind of character that I rigged, but maybe it's possible. I just don't have much experience with that, and there could be seams. There might be a bit. I find it more complicated usually for characters that are more organic, so like mine, right? So here Aisha, original character. So here this is the, I'm not gonna dwell too much or dive too much in the stream about these revising of the mechanisms, because there are a lot of stuff there. There are plenty of possibilities, and currently it is working. There are just some things that I would like to improve, but basically we have this jaw. It's a master jaw that will change the muzzle along, so the chin, bone of the chin, bone of the nose, even those, and also the bones corresponding to the mouth position, these ones, right? So here you see, if I compare the universal sonic melt rig, it has muzzle bones. Yeah, okay, this cheekbone, then the nose bridge and cheekbone. So this is muzzle. This is the lips with the mouth position bone here, and so this is the mouth interior. It's not the head. The head doesn't appear here, at least not from this view, or there isn't a head, so it's just a representation of the muzzle. So here you see how cool we can shape this, but then can pose this, make the mouth expressions. So this is rendered much easier to pose and to shrink wrap to rig, because look how smooth this surface is, right? I cannot afford to have this in my character design because of the character design itself, right? There is, but what I can try to do, maybe adapt the 3D style to something more rounded. And also it is true that I've made some mistake in there is a tendency that to make this curvature for me sometimes too pointy, and this is incorrect. So this is something I'll have to revise. I have already noted that, making this curvature more aligned with the, hold on, yeah, the forehead. The head here is more correct. Here we can make some improvements probably. But yeah, so here you see the curvature from a top view is good, is more rounded, and so this is more elegant and more correct accurately. And then you see the muzzle there. It's not, the curvature is not, it could be even worse, but now it's bad, so I probably would need to retake that. After many mesh editions that got back to the bad stage, so maybe to prevent this kind of mistakes that I usually make, either I have a 3/4 view, some sort of model sheet that will fix that at once and for all. Well, at least for the understander perspective. And also another possibility is to use some sort of ghost. I have one here, but it is not being used for anything. I'm calling it a muzzle shield. This could serve many functionalities. This is not present in the Universal Sonic Mount rig. It's not necessary. It can be used for certain structural reasons, but I haven't found a use for that, except that now I'm thinking, because it's useless now, it's just duplicate mesh, so it's not relevant. I think it doesn't even have vertex groups, yeah, just for the head, so it's useless. But I can use this as a mapper for the character designs, because if I keep, it's not correct to be reshaping the character often, right? So, but because I was rigging and making improvements, so it was necessary. So here you see I will try to reshape these curvatures, and let's clean this up a little, right? Because, and also I want to get rid of some subdivision modifiers, because this stuff for my computer, it's really starting to cause a lot of problems. I've realized it causes problems for shading, for rendering, for how do you call it, motion pads for 3D animation, keyframing, also for it interferes with the add-ons such as Wiggle 2 add-ons for bone physics. It interacts negatively, like it's logarithms everything, so it seems to be the culprit of lots of things. Of course, now maybe someone will know better than myself, but I don't know what those shading artifacts there. Anyways, there's RBF nodes that automates driver making and even can sort of mimic action bone constraint setups for corrective rigs and some other stuff. So, but this RBF nodes also another add-on, just as Wiggle 2 add-ons, which is for bone physics. They all are boggled down by the terrible subdivisions, extra subdivisions. Now I don't know if this is the modifier itself, because it's procedural, or if it is just the presence of more vertices. I suspect it is precisely the procedural aspect of the subdivisions made by the subdivision surface modifier, and there would be a slight chance that if you subdivide something using geometry nodes, because there is a node for subdivision, maybe subdivision, yeah, something, well, there's no node here, I would have to add, I don't want to add, this is just alright, so, and that, maybe that doesn't have the same issues than the, so I really would like to delete these subdivisions, even though that would cause some problem. For example, this one has a subdivision of, so I'll try to, yeah, this is bad because the shrink wrapping systems that I've had, they were very dependent on smooth surface, at least for the control bones, because then if we pose them, the control bones, they will snap to the face changes, right? The change of the angle of the orientation, right, of the plane to which these bones are bone constrained to, they will snap, and that will cause some irregular motion of the bones while animate. So that's ugly and that's not good. So, but then those things, they start to affect the rendering, the 3D animation. So I end up with like so maybe the, yeah, then it will go to rendering, it will also be nightmarish because of probably the case of the real-time thing. Most likely it will also be problematic. So here so this stuff are so annoying, and I've been discovering many of those problems recently, and so I'm really considering at this point taking off all of those features, right? And maybe even working on radically more low poly, or I'll make some tests with the subdivisions. So if you guys know anything about subdivision modifier, I wonder why there's just not enough information about that. Feels like it's a blurry thing, and there is no one saying like, oh, you shouldn't use this is junk, like model rig, avoid at all costs this, especially on low performance computers, right? So this is how bad this is, folks. I can't animate, I can't render my scenes on my computer, the rigs I'm doing, because of the subdivision surface modifier at level 1. Well, at level 1 maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe at level 1 it's still a problem, but so I'm really considering not using it at all and dealing with the fact that maybe my style have to adapt to something, at least for now, some sort of more low poly thing. So anyways, here this mesh is really, I'm just playing around while I was explaining the problem, and so it's a big issue, right, that I never really considered. I assume that like this is something we take for granted, right, the subdivision surface modifier, right? No, totally use it, but turns out no, it's not a good idea to use it for many reasons. It can or if it is used arbitrarily, it's just a terrible, it can have can have terrible consequences, and that was what I just found out yesterday even, or a couple of days ago, something like that. Alright, so this is more like the shape that I would like later. So to solve that, can I apply the mesh positions? I don't, with the shrink wrap, I can create a shrink wrap to the muzzle to that, and then apply that shrink wrap. So, and then just reorganize the geometry. Maybe I'll have to address the wave painting slightly. So of course the positions here I would really like to match, so these are not, so some things here are not good, some others would be more adequate. So the important here though is just the front part, most likely. So fixing that curvature, making that more, I see this should be much better for, also should be better for the universal sonic melt rig. The problem why I'm not gonna do now this is because I want to assess a previous version of Aisha, the same character here, where I've made the corrections here and before they were messed up. So I want to find out that file and then correct it, compare with any adjustments I've made here. So okay, so this is for now will just be some sort of huge face here, right folks? So this could be the case to have another subdivision, but so I could have more flash thing here. But in principle, that is the essential idea. I can also snap here, right? Snap to... It's not snapping, I need to turn this off. Include non-edited, well, it is snapping. And here it's blurry. Since I'm still working on this one, I can just smooth this out. Smoothing might be one of the culprits also. Smoothing arbitrarily. Then I ended up losing the... this is bad. Forgot to disable the... I could sense the posing the repositioning, the grabbing was behaving strange, but I couldn't see what was going there. So here, with these updates, so this will be something to... this face is terrible. Maybe I just need to do this. Hold Control so you can get better snappings here. Only localized, not generic use of the snap tool. This is probably a mistake anyways. Gonna save an interaction here. I've made a special shortcut for that. Save incremental, Shift Control Alt I. So this will already 65 file. and when I reach an important point, otherwise I probably will delete all the other iterations, but if I reach an important one, I can save like a backup. So this is one of the important point. There's another, so probably I could delete all the intermediate to clean space, right? Because I'm not Google or YouTube, which is the same thing. Alright, so let's go for the list of tasks here, folks. There is this revise mechanisms, I'm not gonna do that, and then expressive lip sync helper shape keys. Yeah, so expressive, the shape keys, right? So I'm going to try to make the shape keys, even though, at least to learn to see the results, even though I'll have to retake many things here. So maybe, okay, first of all, let's make a refresh. Maybe that will help. And a refresh of the mesh. So basically, it's this vertex group separator muzzle dynamic ghost. Muzzle. It's just a vertex group too. And actually, yes, then after I delete these ones, they're just for reference. And actually, there's also, we don't want the shape keys here. Shift D, P, separate selection, Alt, Shift tab, no, Control tab, I don't remember, but anyways, object mode. So here I go to the muzzle. This is the new object, and this is the muzzle ghost that I need to yes, precisely this one. We see that how the geometry is here. There's no mouth hole. Oh, before I do that, folks, actually, my mistake, sorry. I'm going to recheck the wave paint. So I'm gonna, okay, that was a highlight. Now I'm making new types of highlight where I record directly from OBS Studio. Still put the star. Alright folks, so here I'm going to make some retakes and wave painting on the face, on the muzzle region of this character. And so for that, just show you some tricks for getting this well done, because the face is a very sensitive region. It's very important and with a lot of details depending on the character design and the requirements. So I have some special vertex groups which are not for anything. They are just managerial, organizational vertex groups. So for example, I want to wave paint the head mesh or some parts of that, so I have this hide, exclamation hide, so it goes to the top when I sort by name, and then all the depth goes below. And then we have this I'm doing because we still don't have in Blender vertex groups collections or hierarchy folders, or you name it. So this would be a way to do it. So, but these are organizations. So since I'm gonna do this for the head now, I'm going to, the head is number 1. So everything that is 1 slash something is about the head, then 2 slash is the torso. Okay, it's the same logic for the deformation bones. And for the modifiers, maybe no, the modifiers don't have, but they are much lesser in amount in this rig, in this setup. So here the head, I don't want the head, but I could select this. You see they are all, it's just it's not doing anything, it's just for, although we could use it as a target, I think that will be dangerous because this is really just for selection, right? So I can already start by doing this, but I don't need this one, and they are all locked because I don't want them to be changing randomly. This is for the eye, so Shift H here. Actually, let's get screencast keys add-on. So you see Shift H, so you get actually eyes region. So no, I don't want this. So it's like eyelids, we have just the eyelids, then we have eyelids border, just some, it's just vertices inside. This is a special feature for the kind of eyelids rig I have. Then eyelashes, you see they include they include all the faces, but this, then I have just for the vertices, which can be dangerous. One depend on which mode of selection we are using here. So this can be, I found it's would be used. And then mouth work, because I'm working on the mouth. So for the faces, this will be currently what I need. And so this goes inside the mouth even. We don't see very well here. Hold on, let's turn on off the mirror here. Modifier, turn off. Yeah, it will include the lips, but not the mouth interior, which in this case is not separated from the head, but it could. I need to make up my mind about this thing. Here you see there are some clipping. This is a terrible thing that can happen. I'm not gonna mention, well, let's just fix it, subdivide here, but this is dangerous for mesh data, right? Okay, but we solved that clipping, and there seem to have yet another one here. I guess this one is the bad one, and this was safe, and maybe there's something else. It's very hard to see here anything. So let's go now to let's go back to the vertex groups. Mouth work by faces, it will be better. Shift H, there we go. So this is the mesh that I'm gonna work with for the wave painting of this muzzle thing. So I'm gonna select this, then the armature, then the face, and here I don't need this vertex group, so I just alt left mouse button click the bone here, and you see we can, maybe if I unhide, there would be more area there. Yeah, so this is unfortunate. So in this case I would like to have more waves there. So this was, there's another way. So here for this case I can, instead of hiding all that, I hide from maybe here the neck. Then let's first, well, L key also can help for this, and then there is more mesh here. So in this case I don't want this eye, so there are many ways to do all that, right? So for the, yeah, I'll just do this, hide this, expand. Let's leave it here. Maybe I want to reach up to those vertices of the Also, I don't want to be looking at the eye, so let's change this visibility here. And so now we can make, well, just get this, all this. Sounds like some mesh were not, no, let's do the inverse. I think select link, I need some by seam, no, by material. I could make seams just for that hiding, that's also can be useful. Let's hide some more stuff here, folks. Mouth, I really just don't need to be looking at the arcades, nor, and cloth, yeah, we can hide for now. So I'm gonna hide the body, so just normals, shift H, and so from this I get the selection. So for example, mouth works, so I have this selection, and that should be, so you see the body is not showing, nor other mesh from the face, and I can just get my mask here whenever I want through this selection. So this is very, very clean workflow. It just takes a little to set up, a little of patience and know-how, right? Understanding of how those things work. So okay, so now I'm just gonna wave paint these facial feature bones and see if we can first in this area, and then I will try to expand. Why I can have a little here, right? They're just very low waves, so just to get this more regular. And here, why not? No, let's leave it like here, yeah. So, and here a little stronger, and I'm blurring. So here behind the ear, maybe even here around, all around the ear. Maybe we can get this vertex as well. We see that it is not willing to collaborate. So in this case, maybe, yeah, this is also bad. So the only tool that is good to go is the radial. But with this wave, this will cause a lot of problems. So I'm gonna just push it in something like there. So this is good solution when things are like this wave paint madness, right? So here this bone, why not? Yeah, so you can get some influence there. Maybe it can stretch this part and even that. Yeah, it doesn't, because this would never move like in principle that much, so it's not, it could be that this, well, this stretchy thing, squishy thing, maybe this is a good idea, but it feels a little that, feel like that this looks a bit too strong. So let's invert now, and now go back to the mask. So here maybe I can reduce a little these influences. And see the wave there seem to be, so here maybe I don't want the mask, this mask there, and so I'm just going to re-blur this. Yeah, the problem is this one is too strong, so I need to perhaps first take off some waves here, because there's not enough polygons to geometry, right? There's not enough to provide a smooth layering of these waves. So they, as they reach there, they are already too strong. Now we probably can elaborate this a little better. And here we can test the deforms, and let's get this thing more regular, and I'm still not liking what I'm seeing here on the ear, so maybe I can, maybe it's not a good idea to have the forms on the ear. Maybe just at the bases, but that was already the case. So let's reduce the blurring here. Yeah, you see that made a lot of difference. So okay, something like that seems better. And since I'm working with, yeah, here I can, in principle those waves should be regular. Here I probably can take off influence from the neck. Mirror modifier always help a lot for if we can afford it. I just can't this seems to be a rogue waves. There we go, this one. So maybe at the top of the ear it could be, yeah, it's beautiful to see other stuff move, but maybe this is a bit too much, right, for the extension of this. So maybe we want to stop, maybe yeah, let's leave there and let's stop by here, right? So I'm not gonna do this, nor this, nor back of the ear because it's too sensitive. So this will be like the last. So here we're gonna get a little more here. Okay, there's successful, and then below the ear as well. It looks like we need, there are some deforms here that are not working. It's because there's a ghost mesh, muzzle mesh behind that is responsible for shrink wrap. This will be solved after, I feel like that I want this vertex here. And if I get this, then I get this one too. Okay, can't help. So let's get this thing, and that's it. So these patterns, I like to keep this thing organized, especially because this is low poly, right? But it won't do a lot of difference, right? We can't do this for everything. So here, I don't know if this angular thing there is a great idea. Again, that happens, so maybe I have to reduce this once again, then reblur with a less influence. It's just very minimal, right? But it makes difference. So how we do this thing. So even if this is not a lot of motion, right? Okay, this is looking fine, so I'm gonna save here and continue smoothing. Here, okay, I think for the highlight that would be enough, because sort of forgot where I was going with all that. So here this is still the Oh yes, I'm doing something terrible here. I shouldn't be wave painting this. This is the, for this rig, the Universal Sonic Melt rig, we don't want influence on the mouth. Is it possible that these are causing some... No, it's not likely that... Yeah, it could be... There's probably some rogue waves there. Something that is badly... Or is the... Yeah, is this geometry, the topology there? Need to get rid of that. So that will be solved simply by merging this into here maybe, but then the problem extends. So it's like maybe I need to, yeah, I have this triangle here, which is not necessarily a bad idea for the back of the head on a low poly. So here looks like that maybe I could try J. So I'm gonna dissolve this and trying to get this vertex meet here first at the center, and this one I'll try to exactly, I could try to merge this here. Let's see, this will create a very bad face. GG. And now this triangle has moved here, or this shape, and then maybe I can, so here I have the strange face loop, but this might be actually an interesting idea. So maybe I want to try to, yes, I really want to try to disrupt. So this might be simple at this point. Here we got some yeah, so you see there is this topology now is messed up. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but we can try to. Okay, let's so a revision on the, so I have this triangle. Maybe I can try to, now I can get this better flow here. And here this triangle is what, and here also it's, there are some complicated things. Let's see, let's hide this stuff here, hide the armature, simplify this. I'm going to get So this one might be okay. This one is trying to reach. Then we have a trigon here. Shift is 0.3, so they match. So there's something about the shape here that is, yeah, it was on purpose, but this can probably be improved in some way. So perhaps, yeah, this is certainly bizarre, right? I think I can do something about this. It works now, but it creates some strange shading. It can create some strange shading. So this is going. Yeah, one problem is the face here. Yeah, let's start merging this. And here looks like I could do something. I need something like this. Yeah, so here I have some more, way more regular thing. This is okay. So if this triangle is not causing too much trouble, then this, yeah, this one, 6-star pole can be, it will shrink a lot, but this is an area that maybe is okay by shrinking, but this I wouldn't know the result properly without some tests. So maybe here I can try to reproduce the triangle on the other direction to try to solve this. So maybe here, for instance, merge at last. Now this is created another problem, so I cannot do this. Instead I need to, yeah, so this loop is going nowhere, so this is where perhaps I need to break this apart. So let's make a cut here. Maybe this is the way to go. So this loop, I want it to go not here. This is not a trigon, so there's a mistake here. I want to mimic this in the other side. So for doing that, maybe I just dissolve this. And here, how it ends? Well, there will be a face here. So maybe I can achieve, yeah. So here and here's I have the same problem. These are critical areas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, already 6. So 7 here would be very problematic, right? It's like I would need some sort. Oh, there's a triangle here. Okay. This I've made on, yeah, to try to get this here better. Maybe this is not doing the finest job for redistributing this. So it's like, This is the top of the ear. Okay, so this, I don't remember if it was like that before, but let's say I try to merge this. Yeah, so now this should be going down. We have this, which is plausibly here. I could try to interrupt here this flow. So this face is still going there, this face loop, but this one dies off here. We still have a good face loop around the ear, which usually is relevant. Here we have 1, 2, 3, we have still 6 there. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So not sure if this will be responding properly. The texture here is just something that will, yeah, and here it's still and then gone. So here I will try to bring this here, bring this here, join. Here I got this face, shift is 0.3, so now this dies off there, and here also. Yeah, so the mesh is a bit awkward, but in a great deal this is because of the shrink wrapping that is happening, that needs update. So the without the shrink wrap it will be, well, there's the subdivision. This is a part of the character design that need to be spiky, so this is not the good one. Maybe I'll need these ones. This will make it strange, right? Not like that. So not that too. So this will be 0.03. Just only, maybe only this will be sharp. Yeah, it creates some. It's because I forgot this one. Yeah, so this live stream now is becoming more of some mesh manipulation than geometry fixed and actually rigging, but this is part of rigging. But yeah, I should stop this. We'll do this offline. Oh yeah, why not do this after all, right? It's a bit too sharp, but that should work, folks. So here maybe I can reduce this. and here we're gonna go into this direction. Let's attempt this technique, so because turns out that so muzzle off, although the muzzle confers here some organization of the beginning, so I'm gonna try to adapt this some parts of the face, so notably I'm trying to snap these parts of the faces to the not this is not required, but the to the that surface of reference. This sounds an interesting setup. So it's not like welcome Riccello Italo. This model will be used for gaming. So maybe in principle it's for 3D animation inside Blender, but it can be if I make the proper adaptations in the rig and in the modifiers, yes, so it could be used later for a game, but for now I'm not in that stage because the game requires very specific stuff, right? I have an idea actually for a narrative game, but this doesn't imply the use of a game engine. It's like it's a different proposal. This is one of my projects that's ongoing, but I'm not talking about it yet too much, right? It's like a bit abstract right now, but it's so technically that can be for a narrative game. Then you just click one button, you go to one direction, but not for game engine. Yeah, so certainly you mean game engine. But most features here are exportable. That because after I've learned some of the limitations, then I've learned, for example, these shrink wrap features. I know how they can be modifiers here, except for this of the muzzle. Okay, thank you. Yes, welcome. So feel free to ask anything. So and to participate here. So this shrink wrap modifier, I don't know how to adapt it for exportation. I never tried. Probably the same as the others. Like you have to transform the shrink wrap modifier into shrink wrap bone constraints that will be deformed bones, right, in the skeleton, that will a legion of deformed bones that would follow then we can bake the 3D keyframes, the 3D animation of those deformed bones, because they don't use the modifier, they use the shrink wrap bone constraint, and then the mesh just follow the bones, right? Follow the mesh deforms following the motion of the bones. So this can emulate, is not as good, is not that easy. Right, shrink wrap is just right ahead, right? It solves everything, but then it doesn't work for exporting. But we can reproduce more or less the same quality, with more versatility by using the shrink wrap bone constraint on deformed bones or bones. Then these bones, they can be control bones, or they will affect the motion of the deformed bones. That's what matters. But I've never done this setup for the muzzle. So for example, here there is this shrink wrapping of many bones there, but it's not all. This is for the control rig, because for the deform rig is currently what's going is the muzzle is this stuff. So that could be more complicated, because then maybe we'll have to sacrifice the bone constraints here of the bone of these control bones. I'm not sure. This rig is already as complicated as it can get. Is the universal sonic mount rig. You can find online in Blender forum the. By the way, it is this. No, not this. I have a Blender file open for it. So I want to make the So this is the universal sonic mount rig set up. Alright, so this, the way it is, it also use some combos of modifiers of the shrink wrap here, so it cannot be exported as it needs some, it would need itself some adaptation. I believe it's possible, but I can't certify, because if we try to do this in this particular rig setup, maybe we find out some very hard, difficult problems that we might need to find an adaptation, specific adaptation to make it work. At some point in the future I intend to investigate that, because it will be very nice to have this muzzle thing working on game engine maybe. Maybe some guys have done it, because there are other versions of this. Hold on. Yes, maybe. Let's see. No, this one also uses shrink wrap modifier. So I don't know these ones very much. And this one also use shrink wrap. So yes, so I don't think they although it's, I assume you would like to use this for game engines, but I think maybe it's just for an animation project. Anyways, so I'm opening this because I want to check how they handle the shape key system, which is one of the main things that I would like to do here on. So I'm not super savvy with making shape keys, especially not for facial rigs, so my experience on this is limited. I have no idea what are this, but so here I'm in this version here. All those projects I've downloaded for free, they are available. This is deluxe. There are 3 guys that made this universal sonic mount rig in this. So what is this key? Okay, so there is apparently one for Express. So you have some sort of shape key. This is the rest pose. Yeah, it is more or less like that. So this is the shape key for the smirk, very subtle thing. Then we have a key 2. This is something for smile. Okay. Then we have this, it has no name. Oh, it's a shrink, or no, it's not just shrink, there's something else is happening. And here key 5, I don't see anything. So, and this is very subtle motion. Alright, so then I want just to see, because for me it sounds strange. I want to how this stuff will combine, right? So you can make a smile here without the shape key. And then apparently the shape keys would be to reinforce or to facilitate. Oh, I see. It makes some... Yeah, so this is interesting. Yeah, so it like you could use the shape key specifically, not exactly to move up or down the vertices, but to shape the ellipse corners in some way. Maybe that is one way to handle it. So this is the deluxe. Let's see. I'm just being curious here. I want to see if, which is normal, so want to see if there's anything that I should know from these setups here, something maybe unexpected. So I don't know what is happening there. Maybe I've messed up in this. So there's a, let's open here. Let's address this one. No, it is there. So maybe it's a mistake in the... probably some bone, but it doesn't matter. The shape keys, they are symmetric, color attribute, UV maps here, and they are all driven. Maybe I need to... I don't know what drives them. We can check here. Control lips dimple. Yeah, it's all the same bone there. So there's some dimple bone apparently. Let's see the names. Okay, there will be another way to find it. Armature. Here, let's see. And dot, well, we already see where they are. It is this one and this one. So one is for the... So probably these bones, they do a lot of things. No, they would activate okay, I know how to solve this. So try to pin this. Not sure that will work because we're gonna wait, the something is going wrong. When I pin the things, the shape keys disappear. Mesh data. Maybe it's normal behavior. Maybe the shape keys shouldn't. Maybe they'll fix this later. Yeah, so this is... Yeah, so anyways. Another way, maybe I just can pose here. One, okay, then let's try some rotation. Oh, this is puff cheeks. Okay, I recognize this exists in the Inverse Sonic Mouth Rig too. Here, let's do something. Yeah, so just there are three, just up and down, and just the, yeah, so one up, so it's really alright, so that's it for this one. So not a lot of shape keys in this one, and then the original, this I know has a lot of shape keys. No, not a lot, just many interesting ones. So you have something like this, wrinkle test. Oh yeah, it makes some sharp fake teeth, right? And here, let's see, there's the subdivision. Let's just activate everything to see how that will work. I pressed wrong shortcut, very dangerous. Shift space or control space and control alt space. Alright, so as we can see, we can shape a lot of expressions here, which is very nice. But then, let's say we activate, so only this one is driven by a bones property. It's a property, I think. Never mind, so it doesn't matter. We can always edit driver, disable driver, and see what it does here. Extrude bones. Oh yeah, this bone is I know where it is. It's on the top. So yeah, it make the lips sort of extrude, right? Basically. Okay, it's sort of a could be considered sort of a kiss shape, which I have a plan for that. Then wrinkle, I don't know exactly what means wrinkle for expression, wrinkle test, so maybe more wrinkle. Yeah, it looks like this similar to this, right? Not clear for me without instruction. So flat, extrude flat. Oh, this is for the flat, perhaps another setup. Then extrude. Okay, this is, I think this is still the same idea. Oh, this is the lips that I don't remember. This one, was that updated? Okay, so that will be a, oh, of course it was very strong because of this extrude. Yeah, if you combine, then we can see better results. Like, it's a little strange for the bottom, but maybe I've got something. Yeah, it's very clear what is happening to the top one, right? So, but here there seem to be some volume loss. So, yeah, this is more convincing. So, then big smile, then we see. Let's reset those. Reset all the Yeah, so this is more or less like the idea of the anatomic shape key, but it's not so clear. This is why it's more like a shape for a mouth expression called lips than actually this shaping the anatomy of the lips slightly, right? But it's not that the character design demands this. So yes, it is why there it seems to be in the direction, but it's just not so clear. So, and these big smiles seem very nice and relevant if we want to improve. So this one is a good thing. We could also consider a combination of things. Let's see how this combines with the mouth here. So for example, yeah, so you see it's a bit risky if we cannot, but it seems to be quite adaptable. It's already a big smile, right? So it's like, I think this could be instead just the mouth wide open, but it depends, right? If we really want a good looking smile, then maybe this is the idea. Um, the problem of this one is just that if it's not super versatile, so it's, if we wanted to have something different than a smile, then or we just do the intermediate. Yeah, so you can combine. So this is very nice. Yeah, so these ideas, I have seen some proposal on that. So here we got this rounded shape, and it's interesting how it can, yeah, it round up. No, this is the big smile. So yell you, and yeah, so that's it. So I think I've mapped enough. This could be more like a kiss shape. Yeah, so sort of that. So it goes in the direction that of an atomic shape key, but see they start at 0 because of the character design, so they are not meant to be like the default state. So this is so it's not like it might appear that is the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's the same tool, the same resource, but used in a different conception. So all these conceptions are interesting. So so let's get here now this thing, right? So here I've disabled that. We'll need to not look at this one, but yeah, the shield. Okay, this one. Let's reset the armature. Turns out it's already reset. Let's see the yeah, let's turn this off. It will be safer. I'm going to I have to look at the model sheet. So this is quite complicated, right, folks? To handle. It's not complicated to understand, but to manipulate. So let's just need to see how this don't find anything that we need. So here this is the okay. So why this is happening? So subdivision is the shrink wrap. Okay, this shrink wrap is messing up, of course. This is the jawline. Yeah, so this will be problem. Here I think I also have difficulty in the mesh topology, right? It's like this is below, right? As this shouldn't be, there should be perhaps a no, this is one phase loop. Okay, it's just that this one, okay, it is acceptable. It's just that the geometry here, we have this big face there, and this one goes in another direction, so it creates the idea that it is not so regular. But then it creates, of course, because of the subdivision surface modifier. Yes, always this terrible thing. So I'm considering not using subdivision modifier at all for my new approach, because I don't think I'll have that will facilitate a lot of stuff in my projects. I have to handle the fact that it will be forcefully more low poly, and that to prevent also the addition of more geometry that will make everything more complicated to handle. But then I can say goodbye to the edge creases, which takes some time, right? It's a simple thing, but it's not easy to handle, along with it's just one thing more to take into account. So it's not, and there's also when we extrude or do some modification on the additions on the mesh, they don't reproduce. You have to keep adding. So you see, it doesn't look so bad with being low poly, right? Depending on it can be, yeah, I just have to fix the textures, but it can work. I think it can work, so I leave it off. The only thing that maybe this will be easier to test, I'll requires the shrink wrapping faces on the another object, right? Okay, so here this base mesh is correct, but the bones are shrink wrapping, so this is a different feature. So I'll need to turn off the armature. I will use the rest position. There we go. Now we can. This should what I should have done, since and this also affects the other modifiers, apparently. Yes. No, they don't. I was wrong. So at least here on edit mode we can see better. So now I'm going to using this model sheet. I had to simplify the model sheet. Maybe I have to rework that, otherwise the file was like 5 times bigger. And then I ended up with these strokes which are only good to look on certain conditions, and it messed up my project when I need to consult this thing. So yeah, so it's never-ending problems, right? 3D is so currently I'm considering, I've been learning some grease pencil rigging, and even combination of grease pencil with 3D characters or 3D dummies. I don't know, there are a lot of possibilities apparently. So I was never very confident on these systems, but after I saw many cool ideas out there, demonstrations, tutorials, I started to get my mind, make up my mind about the idea of understanding the potential of grease pencil. Now it sounds that it can, I'm really considering substituting the pure 3D thing, right, that I like this, except for the textures and for the eyes rig in this case. But yeah, converting all this thing to some 2D 3D rigging, some very strange combination that can work. There are some guys artists that seem to have shown something in that direction, and it's a growing area. I think the tendency, it will become more and more feasible and interesting and powerful. So I think that at this point I might be capable of, because I have already this experience in Blender and with rigging 3D, right, I think I can come up with some elegant solution for grease pencil and all that, maybe to bypass those critical problems, right, while at the same time, yeah, so it would be in some sense saying goodbye to the traditional conventions of making 3D characters, right, regarding mesh characters, right. But in some sense, even though this sounds sad, of course certain projects could still work with that, but I think what led me to try to do 3D characters besides 3D animation, it's also the fact that I didn't know all these possibilities. It's not certain that they are, as I'm mentioning, that they can do very well what I think they might be able to handle, but it is likely that it is becoming a reality, or it was already a reality. So there, I need to no, I'm not gonna show this, but there is one guy that made a video. Let's show that maybe. Where is this grease pencil that blew up my mind? So grease pencil 3D. I even sort of rewatched this because this rigging the grease pencil in Blender. So basically he rigged a drawing of a character to the armature object, right, to the skeleton, and then he wave painted, I don't know the techniques he I think it's wave paint here. Maybe there are other things. And then, okay, but it's then here.
The idea behind is pretty much the same.
He means that, okay, he's posing the drawing. It's crazy already on its own, right? Posing a drawing, a hand-drawn thing. And then the idea is to keyframe, is to to frame the draw. Use this as a base drawing to keep drawing frame by frame, or the list of the frames that are required on top of this. So it's like you have the 3D, or in this case Blender, but you have the 3D system to the 3D world, the 3D, the armature, the rig, to support 2D drawing with respect. It's like, it's completely insane. The potential of this is very. So yeah, so this is a genius thing from this guy here, Rusinek. And so I'm showing this because this I need to test this stuff. And so this can, for me, you know, for this kind of characters that I draw, right? This cartoony, anime inspired, but many styles inspired stuff. So I could try to do this with grease pencil, the way he's mentioned, and build on top of that. So experiment more and find ways to. There are many questions, of course. And then all this stuff that I'm doing is like, it's another dimension of yeah, it's different. It's a different thing. It's not better or worse. It's just a different approach. But I think I can, even if I'm talking about this low poly thing and making less problematic results, right? I think if I could do this armature 2D 3D rigging, that would be even better for my projects, because it will be much more funny to do things, all the from beginning to end, I think, because I'm also I have a background in 2D traditional animation a little, so I have but I never expanded in that domain because it's too difficult to do 2D traditional animation. It's not everyone that can do this stuff, because you have to draw, really like to draw. Draw in a certain sense. Not I like to draw, but when it comes to draw thousands of drawings of repetitious poses, I like drawing poses, but when it comes to the confrontation with the reality of animation and 2D traditional animation, it's sort of, I never got through a certain artistic block, maybe you would say, but it's likely that it could be countered if I find the right method, and then it's likely that this Blender armature 2D 3D rig stuff can compensate for my personal thing regarding that. Okay, so now that I've got to that, let's try to. Yeah, I'll have to unfortunately be looking at this model sheet for a while, so it will be kept being confusing. But I need to. I don't need the armature. I don't need this object in the back. We can reduce the complexity here. I want to look at the shield muzzle. Yes, so here let's also place this as a wire and the shield as a solid. Yeah, it seems to be matching, but something that is not matching is that there is a curvature that is different. So what I'm going to do now is to, this will require some highlight. Yeah, let's make a highlight here, folks. Place it here. Sorry. Still struggling to get this right. Start recording. Alright folks, so here I'm gonna show a special case for character design correction in what's happening here. This is annoying. Okay, so here I have this, I have to make a correction, sorry, in the muzzle, in the face, lower face of this character, because I've lost the proper curvature of the muzzle there. These face loops here, more like these ones, you see this from a top view here, orthogonal, we see that this curvature is fine, and it's often occurred to me that for some reason I can't get, probably I lack some experience in this adaptation of this, or how my characters from 2D will look in 3D space, right? And then this curvature often gets spiky, a bit like this, spikes here and spikes here. This comes right away from, if I try to model them spontaneously from the traditional front view, side view of a model sheet, 2D model sheet. But then, of course, that means I would require 3/4 model sheet, maybe 3/4 view, like something like that. One, that is full, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be a full quarter view, exactly in the center. 5, 6, 7, and this is the side view. So you see, if you count the steps, there are 7 steps. One is the 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the number exactly between 1 and 7, right? Then 5, 6, 7, and you see this is back to the frontal view, but now I'm orthogonal. This was always orthogonal, by the way. Yes, they swapped this thing in, or there's an option that we can do this in the somewhere, navigation, orbit around selection. No, turn around track ball. Yeah, might be somewhere, I don't know, folks. So here, anyway, so I have this curvature here that might look good in many angles, but when occasionally I rediscover that it was wrong. So it is angular here in some sense, but maybe it's a bit too much, and this is why I need to retake this into something more rounded, more like this here. And so this is why I'm gonna make this different technique here. It's boring, right? But it can help, because I'll sustain, because this is annoying me too much. I always edit this mesh while rigging, wave painting, and some other processes, and I end up losing the shape, so the original shape, and that happens. So here I have this temporary thing that I didn't know what to use for. It's a static ghost mesh. It is supposed to be wireframe, right? And I'm gonna use it. I already shaped it sort of a little more likely to what I would like to have. and I'm going to snap the face on it and apply a shrink wrap modifier to it, but only on certain faces that yeah, more like in the middle, not in the middle here, not so much in this or around here, the extremities. Yeah, it's more about the central vertex, not the jawline also. So it's just more about the flashy part here on the top. So here, let's try to do this. I hope that will work. So I already turned off some other shrink wrap stuff. So I will add, I need a vertex group. So because the mouth here has another problem, so I'm not gonna, it's dependent on some other setup of this rig, so I'm just gonna consider, yeah, maybe these ones. Okay, so it will be by vertices. So I'm gonna not use on the jawline. Alright, this will be, yeah, I'm gonna try to ignore this, and the center and whichever reach the lips. So this will be safer to work in this particular case. This is a jawline point, also this. So this seems to be fine. I'm going to wave paint that to Control X. This is a mask O shortcut that I've made. So Control X will paint, right mouse button click on wave paint mode, you access this, so you can do that, right? Very simple. Control X is the set wave operator. So for Blender 4 and beyond, I think it's this new shortcut. So here I'm going to use the shrink wrap, so it's disabled, so it's used, this is for the some other rig, so it doesn't matter, but since it's disabled, I just shift D here, temporary one. So I'm going to delete the target. I'm gonna use instead this other one, is the shield. Then I'm gonna change this to 0 and on surface, exactly on surface. This I'm gonna, it's an old one. I need to turn this into a vertex group. Wait. I think I've destroyed I've just destroyed a okay, my mistake. I'll fix that later. So maybe I can recover it from another file later. I'll find out. So instead, let's just delete this one, not delete, suppress this. Then, and also, because I have a mirror modifier, it auto updates. So I need a new one, new group. So this will be mod shrink wrap muzzle shield, yeah, whatever. Then I'm going to Control X, yes, so unlock. And now I'm going to, well, actually we could do something here to smooth out these effects, right? So let's unlock here. Let's go on wave paint mode and let's use the wave smooth, and let's do the invert thing, expand or contract. Yeah, contract -1, more iteration, so you could have something like this, and the factor, yeah, the factor could be, the mask don't protect this if it expands, so this is an issue. So the mask was completely useless in this case. Then I think this is correct now. I don't see that this has, yeah, expanded anyhow, so I'm gonna, this selection doesn't matter anymore. Let's lock here and let's get here the temp. Now I can activate it and target the shield. And we see that it doesn't seem to be doing too much, because yeah, so the interesting thing is that I can keep this shield thing if I ever find the ideal condition, so then I can keep it for further things like that. And even this I can duplicate here and create some sort of muzzle shield, like backup sealed shield. So, and here I turn this off, leave it like here, and usually, yeah, this will be always annoying, right? So maybe leave at the end. And here it's time to apply, right? But since I didn't like the adaptations, right? So probably I want to re-edit this, and I'm going to yeah, it sort of gives a selection, maybe not exactly the original one, yeah, the original one in this case. Then let's just mask here, and yeah, let's do this and see what happens. It's low poly, so it should be the way to go. So now I go on the mesh object, and let's, okay, if it was enabled, then when I do this, yes, so this is more likely. So now I will apply this one at this point, or maybe before everything, no, after the mirror modifier, but before the armature option, just in case. Modifier cannot be applied to a mesh with shape keys. Okay, this is not a problem. There is a add-on, I think it's extension at this point. It's the shape key skipper. So this is the shape key keeper, no. So this will allow to, so I'm not sure this is yeah, it's free, so it is working. All right, so in this, so object, go on object menu, then go on the bottom, it's very the bottom, and then apply chosen modifiers, keep shape keys. So this is just the shrink wrap temp, and there we go. So clean, right? And so here we got the mesh there that probably has adapted to the, yeah, they are sharing the same positioning, nearly so. Yeah, maybe not totally, but that's, yeah, the curvature seems to have been fixed. So I'll call this, yeah, I'm not gonna change this, so I know what is this, what's its functionality. So now I think that's nothing else to do here. It was applied, and I have a backup of it, and now I can hide this stuff. I don't want to be working with that, so now I can probably from this one just make some more adjustments, right, to the curvature. Why I can't? Something seems to be locked here. No, it was not. Okay, so don't know what was that. And yeah, so here I finish this setup doing this organization. So this is a cool trick that can be useful for character designing in Blender, because you know there is this problem that we cannot lock the vertices in addition, or the mesh, or we can hide, but it's not the same thing, right? Then we cannot see what is there, so it's not optimal. So this is why this idea can be very handy for certain cases. So that's it, folks. Yeah, that's it for the highlight, I mean. So now that this problem is sort of rocked, let's try to much better curvature now. I can probably smooth some of these faces now because we've made some change. Yeah, this for the chin is a bit critical. So I'm gonna just try to smooth these ones then. So maybe I don't need to be looking at edge creases for a while, because not using the edge creases on edit mode. Now let's leave it. That I need to make up my mind about that later. So here we are getting okay, so this needs now the I think the character design is mostly fine. So it was a big improvement there, even though a bit arbitrary. I would like to still compare, but I'll do that later. So for now I'm gonna just use the wave paint thing, and here we remember vertex muzzle mouth work, select. I will change this to include some more faces here, or to include these, and even more. Let's include this. This can be bad, but let's leave it like that. Let's assign this mouth work. Not hiding, just the selection. So I think I don't need more the model shit here. Why this is hiding? This is not correct. What is she doing here? There are two. No, this is a collection, sorry folks. It was moved accidentally, that was just that. Alright folks, so let's get back the chat here, and I need to think here what I was doing. Yeah, wave painting, right? So this retakes on the well, turns out this wasn't messed up in the end, so I don't know if something was messed up that I don't see what. Okay, maybe nothing was messed up then. Anyways, there's some bones here that doesn't matter. Alright, this. So I need to address this. There we can. Oh, I'm still in. I see, this was the reason. I was in rest position. Rest position. Binding pose state. Okay, this is looking fairly good. We can probably include this blurring here, and yeah, this should be not the rest of the neck. This is seems to be good enough. Then here we seem to have some strange. Could it be? Oh yeah, there are rogue waves in the opposite mirror side, so this can sometimes happen. I need to select the bone. Sometimes this can be useful, but it's hard to tell. So basically, I don't have any clear case where this. When you have symmetric bones like that, you just don't need to select the mirrored bone to erase what is on the other side. Here you cannot do anything, and here you cannot do anything, but you can do the other, and then you just messed up the other side as well, and you can't do anything here. You need to reach yeah, exactly, need to reach this and then not do the erase on the original side, which is the only one that we can wave paint on. Alright, this seems nice. Here we could get some. here apparently I've lost some details too, so here this seems very subtle things, looks good. Here is just shading. Here we can wave paint these. Here I think I've unmade this stuff, so let's solve these things. It's not necessary, but since I've spotted it, we can just... I'm holding control so I can easily clean max wave 1 with the brush add. Alright, so this seems to be fine. Let's check this one now, the nose bridge. Should it have this influence? So this is not a symmetric bone, so actually it is on its own, right? So we can probably... Yeah, so here I cannot pose this bone directly, so this is a little tricky. The deforms without the subdivision here are quite strange, right? So this is one problem I have to handle if I really want to not use subdivision. So this bone moves much lesser. This one, let's fix this terrible decision that I've made here. It's just that... Oh no, I already solved that. I just got... Yeah, negative y, that's it. But we can also... Yeah, it is getting spontaneous. I need sort of to apply the state, but not yet, because still have to work on... Yeah, I still have to work on all those things, so... Okay, the wave paint of those features seem to have been solved. Then is there anything? Jaws for the arcades. Arcades, yeah. Lips, yeah, we could consider again what we have for the lips now. Oh, we cannot. This is a setup for automation that with bendy bones that I'm not sure I should. Yeah, I should not maintain this here. Because I think that the automation, can get quite complicated. I can experiment with this in another file, another project, so, or in a older version. Don't need to be dealing with extra bones here. So here we can test. And so here is where I will come with the shape keys. Of course, the deforms are not working very well for many reasons, because even the shrink wrap modifier is disabled. I need to recover the ghost mesh now. That's it. So this is why I need to go back to the rest binding pose state, right folks? It tells here binding pose. So here now I cannot pose anything, right? This is correct, and the bones are not affecting the mesh anymore. It's suppressed. All the bone constraints are suppressed, so these bones that which would be shrink wrapping, they are not. And now I need to get the ghost mesh. Gonna look at it. It is currently shrinked. We need to assess how much so something about that, which I don't know which distance is. So I don't want any extra objects here, so I'm just gonna get this delete. So need to get ready. Then we get also just the mesh, right? Delete all its vertex groups. We're in the muzzle region, Ghost Aisha. We're gonna clean all this, delete all groups actually, and then I have to reintegrate with mesh data. I have the vertex group separator just for this mesh here. So Shift D. Actually, we can probably go up to here, I guess. Yeah, let's assign here, so have a little expansion, waves at 1, right? I decide not to include these face loops here. I decide to include the nose bridge. I think it makes sense. Although in the universal sonic mouth rig, the nose it's a separate thing, right, than the muzzle, right? So anyways, now I Shift D, P, separate by selection. Now I go back to the, I'm gonna save here, go back to the, so it is here, the new one, and then I gonna control the muzzle ghost, which is empty. It has just the option Control J, which is the join operation, which doesn't have a last operation. So this was the active element in the selection. The outliner, we must be careful because it works the inverse. If we hold Shift, right, now this is not the active, but if we hold Control as I did, then now this is the active. It might be an inconsistency, but this can confuse the users. I've learned that feature. So here, maybe they'll change this to be more user-friendly. Just little detail. And here, now I don't need to be touching the face now, but I need this one to shrink. And here is an interesting thing. We can address we can re-enable the, we need not the mirror modifier, we can readdress the shrink wrap now. But we go back here. I'm gonna turn it off, the subdivision. Maybe this will help mortem damage in this process, so I'll leave it like that. Just disable. Very important, I need to delete the lips, so be careful not to leave anything here. Well, lip, it's lip, okay, lip. So just delete all this, because that will cause dependency cycle. It probably already appeared there. Yes. And here now, actually before I do that, let's just hide this and just I'm gonna use this as reference positions to merge at center. This can cause some problem, but I'm not sure now. Then maybe, why not? Maybe this can be achieved. Okay, maybe I get subdivision here. Okay, this helps. Then J and J, and then let's get this into, oh, but then I get this triangle again, so just of no use. So this should be good enough, I hope. And then why we have this shift E negative 0.7, so they match. Yeah, all that we leave like that. So now it's like that. I will now use the shrink operator, Alt S, individual. Maybe, I don't know if this makes any difference, because it's already is supposed to shrink on normals. So here would be better if we didn't have this thing available, so you can assess. And even let's make something interesting here. Alt S 0, no, Alt S 0. Alt S 0. Alt S negative 0.1, Alt S negative 0.05. Interesting, right? So we can give Alt S negative 0.04. Maybe we can have a highlight here. There are too many materials here, don't want any of those. Let's make a highlight here. So folks, this is an additional trick that we can manipulate. This can be confusing because there's so many things to take into account. So there's the universal sonic mount rig again, and so you see this is the ghost mesh. Let's turn into a wire. I'm not using subdivisions now, surface modifiers, right? So, but usually the ghost mesh should have more subdivisions than the face, but doesn't matter here. Then it's already, I've already duplicated everything, right? It's already here. Deleted the vertex groups referent to the attention. There would be a search thing. Yeah, I deleted stuff related to the lips deformed bones, right? So no dependency cycles from that peculiar question, problematic. Then here I will shrink again with the shrink operator, transform shrink, right? Except that Control 3 on the numpad. Where is the ghost mesh? Here. Oh, it is there. Okay, it is share. I've disabled the from the body the shrink wrap so we can see what happens, because if it is turned on we see real time, which is kind of funny, right? From edit mode you see real time shrinking. Edit mode of the, because the object is there is not selected, right? It's on object mode, and here that would be an edit mode. So here I don't want this, so Alt S, right? We can do this. Don't need normal here because this already is along normal, I guess. So, but interestingly, we can give a precision work here. Alt S is negative because 1 will augment, right? So it's negative. Alt S negative 0.1, it is too much, so Alt S too little, right? Alt S again, so you see here at the, look at here, right? Alt S negative 0.05, this is more likely, but I want maybe a little more than that, so Alt S negative 0.04, and I think this might be satisfying, because now what I'm going to do is that I will apply this, okay, and now it is shrink, and now although I don't have the bones in proper locations, even in this case I had the rest position, binding pose state. Now let's go on back, and here something horrible is happening because the armature is messed up and the shrink wrapping is not even enabled. So okay, now it's enabled, but maybe now it will be time to adjust this thing. This is an old offset that wasn't made, it was made with precision but not with, because I haven't the proper numbers here. So probably the offset here should be this number here, 0.04, and probably if, yeah, let's go back on binding pose in the rest position so we can see only the shrink wrapping working. And so apparently this shrink wrapping, yeah, no subdivision, so this shrink wrapping, this one, let's see how it behaves. Yeah, you see that the vertices, they point, this is really sliding along normal, so this is not trivial. Maybe this is not happening here because this is the limit of the vertex group for this shrink wrapping, so this can be adjusted anyway, but just change the vertex group, right? Just wave paint it differently. Here this happened because of, again, the wave paint. We can, but we can't have wave paint on the lips or just around, so this will cause issues. So here we need to, yeah, so see, if this is a 0, then it matches the original position of that 0.04. If I disable now, you see it barely changed anything, so this is probably the quite equivalent to, so this is very, it's not exact, there's something that happens different there for some reason, but overall this is quite more precise than if we know the value. So if this number, oh yeah, the shrink wrap, forgot to say, the shrink wrap modifier differently from the shrink wrap bound constraint, it can be negative offset, which allows special crazy features like you can have a wall of invisible cube, surface cube, that you can have, for example, outside and inside, and if you both, I think, are negative values, then you just create a block in which the mesh or whichever is constraint, shrink wrap constraint modified like that, right? Is restrained like that, cannot bypass that. Usually is mesh, because a bond cannot have a shrink wrap bond constraint. I don't know how to reproduce this for the shrink wrap bond constraint, so that will be for another example, folks. So that's it for the highlight here. Okay, not this. So let's go back here, and you see that this new method now will give us more precision in this rigging. So I've never done this way, so I'm still learning, right? There are always, apparently, always more things to improve in these workflows and the knowledge, the know-hows, the understanding overall of all this stuff. And so here we get back the mirror modifier here, and this shading is really annoying, right? And it is not a texture thing. Or is it? Is the distorted UVs? Might be that, yeah. So anyways, this is not a problem right now. So why? All right, let's. I'll try to solve that later. So now this mesh is exactly equivalent to the ghost mesh, so they are matching, and this is the right condition. And the deforms here, they probably won't work well. You see, we have some issues. This is because of the bones, they have wrong shrink wrapping. So these don't have shrink wrap bone constraint, they just have the deformed bones, so we don't care about these. The twig lips have, and their shrink wrap is outside, but this value, not only should I fix this value, but I also need to reposition them. And so this would be like always the annoying thing. So here, well, we could do this on now. That will create the problem because of the displacement of these bones, which, well, they were already displaced, right? So okay, so let's make a fix here. Alright, so they are, I'm on edit mode now. I need to be here, it will be hard to see if these bones are deforming bones. So yeah, this words are highlighted because it's super. Folks, you want to know how far into the rabbit hole rigging can go, right? So sure, otherwise you wouldn't be watching my channel. So not that I do super advanced thing, there's certainly way more complex stuff, but this is already quite interesting example of stuff that we need to sometimes face. So you see that these bones, they are tweak bones for the lips. Actually this with the widgets, the custom shapes. And you see that everything is going insane here because I have some features there that these bones, they didn't follow up naturally some change that I've made to the object modifiers and stuff like that. So they are the target basically of their shrink wrap bone constraints were not only their positioning is incorrect regarding the mesh. They are quite displaced, but on rest position by default. But also the deformed bones, which are these ones in pale blue color, they also are not matching, and they are actually parented to their respective tweak bones. It's okay, this offset here, it's on purpose, but the problem is the bones, they are also offset now from the mesh itself, and so this is terrible. And so you'll see that this can be the approach that I want to do here in this time, because since the deformed bones are displaced, I don't care what I do with them for now, not too much. So this is why I'm gonna keep these parentings, and I'm going to use this operator here to so you see I cannot. This is the deformed bone, sorry for so this is the tweak bone, but you see if I want to rely on the shape here, I cannot. So I cannot use the technique. Of course I could go on rest position, but then I cannot pose in pose mode, so I cannot use the operator. So I would need to do this on edit mode, which is safer because it exactly doesn't use the operator, which can cause some issues, and I'll show which is. So in this case I would need to be on pose position, and because these bones are parented, the deformed bones, when I find the new ideal position, which here will be very hard, right? They will be applied together just because of the parenting, even if I don't select them. So what I do to solve that in this particular case, I will just select all the deformed lips bone and turn off their deform property. Simple, but exactly, that's a very specific case, right? And then I can start posing the tweaks and getting this mesh reference, not deform mesh reference of the lips. So now I can try to find, because they are shrink wrapped to the mesh that is the ghost muzzle mesh. This is the universal sonic mouth rig setup, by the way. So here the mirror, right? This, right? So they are shrink wrapped to this mesh, this one, right? The bones, the tweak bones only, right? And then they are this for a control purpose, so I can totally, and there's a they are outside, so I can pull them is if I want to the front, otherwise, but I cannot push them inside, right? It doesn't go. When it goes, it's because it goes beyond the mesh of the shrink wrapping. So here is a special setup for the control rig and some other things. So here also there's the distance, right? So there's this, the mesh there is inside, the ghost is there's this distance is sort of a lot, quite, for this mesh. So here now I can have this reference and I can try to pose what I would like to be the positioning of this, since it is shrink wrap. I mean, since this is, yes, since it is shrink wrapping, I just don't need to care about the, you see, this kind of double positioning. I don't need to, or even more, I don't need to assess here, because the shrink wrapping is doing the spatial thing for automatically. So here I just want to find the best shape for the rest position of the lips, because of the, yeah, this is the lip top. No, this is the, I'm posing the wrong bone. This is the top. Okay, I'll place it like here. I have to abstract because this line is not here. This line, no, it is here. I mean, this deformed bone here is not, it's from here actually, this one. So originally this should be here, but the tweak bone, I want it to be here. So this little bone will be here at this spot, and this one will be at this spot. So I have to reposition the deformed bones later. But so here this is the corner lip, and I think it's matching the, yeah, they are the same. It's just offset from the widget actually. Here they are sharing the same, yeah. So okay, this can be like that. So the lip will have a shape a little more angular here. So if you know 2D animation, it's the arcs of motion you have to conceive, right? They are something like that. So this can be quite complicated to visualize. So here we're gonna leave this like aligned. This is the same, so this is just reset. So it's just that, and then we get G, Control X. Here I made a shortcut for this thing, just G, and then we got this right. And now for these ones, I think this is a bit more tricky because, well, on pose mode with the shrink wrapping, I hope this will work. So I'm gonna place the cursor somewhere like here. Yes, it is in the top, so the sort of it's shrink wrapping, but then I use the 3D cursor here, X0, and then maybe I SG, put it there, move only here, so not confuse here, the transform. I want this to be exactly at the center, so this is a bit difficult to match. So let's do this, and here I'll place here GZ and just reset this transform, and I think now this is, well, something seems to not be working here. It's like the shrink wrap. Oh yes, it's the outside. So another thing, it goes more complicated than that. So for this posing specifically, I want maybe outside surface. Let's see now. I don't want the outside because the outside we can accidentally make offsets. So apparently it's just for these ones that got a bit messed up. So I'll leave this more to the bottom and this more to the top. Let's see now. Oh yeah, it's normal. The rest position is different because I haven't applied it yet. So I'm just gonna turn off this. You see, now this is better. Yeah, so we don't see how the new lips will be, so have to get here. Now we can apply a new C and show you how this works. This bone, I'll mark this position here, remember that. Select all these. Remember it was there, the deformed bone. Then you see I haven't selected the deformed bones. Apply selected as rest pose, only the selected. Okay, now if I go on the rest position, you see the bone is no more in the 3D cursor. I've set the positions. What happened to the... I think something terrible happened, folks. I don't know what happened, that they didn't match the... Okay, but, well, at least we saw here. So maybe I'll have to fix this in another way. So it's like it did apply, but it ignored the... I can't figure out now. So unfortunately the method didn't work here that I was trying to do. So then I have to do another way, which is in edit mode. On edit mode I think it's a bit more annoying. So you see, we cannot avoid this, I think. Wait, maybe there is another operator. Okay, here we are still in the condition. I'm gonna save here. I don't understand why these bones haven't been applied, selected as pose. Yeah, just... Oh, yes! Yes, it's because they are parented to something else. That is it. Some bones that I have to fix something else in order to achieve this. And so we go more and more complicated stuff. So basically there are more bones which are shrink wrapped, and they are so apparently I'll have to fix those two, the mouth thing, because they also got dismantled, or I mean they got messed up. What happened to this bone here? Quick arcade? No, this is something else. It has a... it's in the wrong... Yeah, you see this is... so this is the jaws. So here also these ones... well, actually no, but okay, this will simplify our vision anyway. So here I have this set up. So all these are... they all share the same origin. And you see, this displacement is what is messing up with the... so what I'm gonna do here is that all these bones, they have a shrink wrap modifier, bone constraint, sorry, and then it's always... well, some of them I didn't see. Okay, checked, checked, check, check. Yes, 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 yes. So okay, so I don't know. Anyway, so all of them have a shrink wrap bone constraint. So I'm gonna get this 0.04 to start matching the idea, right? We are on pose mode, and we see that this is completely incorrect. This has something to do with the alignment, because of the okay, so let's say we disable this. So the position is, I think they are getting completely messed up. So we're gonna, here I can change here manually. They are still in the center, I hope. So yeah, there's some disorganization there. This is annoying. So maybe here we can try to fix this from some slight adjustments here. So here we use Alt 0, Alt 0. And this one is just the X, right? The head, right? And then that's it. So then I can probably pick this center from this bone, and for all the others except this master jaw here, so go there, match there. So now this is probably there could be some unalignments, but at least the joint is in place, right? So if I try here a normal orientation, negative rotate X, now this seems to be fine. Okay, so this doesn't seem to have been messed up. So the problem is that this whole structure, I need to try and get it matched with the shrink wrap, right? So let's hope that now if I re-enable their this is the jaw, right? There's some selection for the jaw, which is okay. So all this, now no jaw, enable this. Okay, now this, when did that happen? Because it's as if their axes were different. Alright folks, so I think I'm not gonna make this record of highlight. Too much mess, too much problem now to solve. So apparently what, it's just that I might have okay, all these are to negative Z. See, only itself. I don't get what's happening here. Maybe this distance. no. It sort of got crazy. Yeah, it is being displaced. Reset row. I don't get it. I'm not unbinding post state. Okay, no, this is... No, it is just working because there's no shrink wrap. No, maybe all of them needs to have the same value here. This is very incorrect. And it's still thus there is still a hole there in topology, but I'm sure that it has been fixed. Oh, it might be the lack of subdivision then. It's super bizarre, this. The y-axis is really... Oh, posing on normal, snapping, no, it's just completely absurd. It's not the bone constraint there that is interacting. This is a leading bone, so all these settings. Yeah, after I've made those changes, so okay, so what was the idea? The subdivision surface, right? All right. So indeed, it never occurred to that level of disruption, folks. Never. That I remember. So I had no idea that this would be so bad. You see, that's like... It doesn't interpret correctly the face, or just the face get too crazy. Yeah, so okay, so at least apparently we'll need that, and unfortunately, but at least it's just one, so we are gonna keep this at 1. Let's go back here now to finally, at least we found the culprit. Fascinating, as would say Spock from Star Trek. So here we are gonna apply this, right? So this is exactly aligned now. We will gonna get, so all these are, except for this, will be negative z, or yeah, it's the negative z, but they are, or maybe they are different. It will depend. Alright, for this is negative z, yes, all negative z, right? Oh, also they all need to have the proper distance. Alt, hold alt again. Ah, now we talk. And then negative z. There's slight readjustment, but that's fine. So we're gonna do this for this one. So this bone now is, I'm gonna apply exactly here. After all that, I just want to check if, well, I can fix that later, but so pose apply selected as rest pose. There we go. Now all the other bones might have being positioned there, all right, and I need to alright, so this seems to be correct. Then we need to solve the lips things now. Deform and tweak lips. So let's check here these orientations. You see there's a slight displacement, so let's just do this here. This is okay. This happens always with the that operator. There are always some, it's never perfect, but we'll just change here. Yeah, maybe this is normal. Maybe this happened because of this. Okay, one by one, it's sort of get it right. This is really irrelevant, but I don't like it. So if I can get this right, so hope that this won't require more adjustments. So this we'll soon be able to see the results if that does make. We rounded the character design a little, which should help. We've made some improvements in the wave painting and readjusted refreshed the muzzle ghost dynamic mesh dummy model, right, of the muzzle. Then we also are solving with the correct distance of the shrink wrap, more precision probably. And here we are going to now, because this is lower hierarchy, we can now ignore these other things. So I fixed the hierarchy, higher hierarchy stuff first, and now I'm gonna fix this one. So now this should work. So I'm gonna place here the cursor so that we can, no, we don't need that. So basically I'm just gonna reset this and try to go the 3D cursor to the world origin. This doesn't work, so I cannot scale this to the bone, right? So I need to, here I could do something like it's not aligned, right? Or it's sort of, it doesn't want to go to the center. Yeah, they're struggling with the shrink wrap, so here need to pose it. It's strange, like it's not. Reset. No, I don't get it. So it's like I'll have to pose it manually. Yeah, so this is pretty annoying, right? So here we need to use then the face, include non-edited, and I can hide the so you see, maybe this, although manually, and oh, they are this, they don't have a proper orientation, right? So let's do this, and for these two, done. Then delete this reference. So here you see that this is not perfect. I'm gonna try to move it about here, so this should be the same. But here we don't see the effect of the snapping, so this is arbitrary. The shrink wrap, I mean. So this edge ring, edge loop here, they will, let's try to push it here. This is the bot and this is the top. Alright. Try to maintain the same distance. Oh, I need to snap, right? So here, to simplify this, this could be larger and this just to differentiate. We can fix this later. There we go. Okay, so we want something. Oh, this is not the position. This is incorrect. It's probably need to be here. Well, this lip top, this also maybe need to be somewhere there. All right. Here I don't want to be looking at these ones, they can confuse too much. And yeah, this size is not really good for addressing this, so it just makes it very hard. So I'm gonna instead make them let's find a generic value for 005. So let's give all them this thing here, and also length we can say hold out 0.2, no, 0.02, no, 0.15, 0.1, and some will be shorter than others. It could just be a bone color thing, but they are widgets too, so already solved the problems with widgets. Except on edit mode we don't have this, so this will be a problem here. So what I'm gonna do is just get the top one, the bottom one, this bot and this button, just make a little larger, right? And scale, can we scale negative 0.01? No, scale is exact, so 0.8. So I want this structure, a minimal recognition here of this distinction. So yeah, now, yeah, they're already hidden, so what I should take into account first is, okay, this seems to be correct, and for these ones, actually, if we hide this for the deformed bones, at least deformed, I can already have, for example, these matchings. Yes, and then yeah, let's leave the deformed bones more elongated, and yeah, let's leave them all like that. Now we'll have to solve this. Okay, this sounds fine. Maybe this a little more inner. Okay. And here it's hard to tell. It's like it's almost in that edge loop, so somewhere like here. As for these ones, it should be maybe a little further away here. It's on the next one. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's nearly trying to reach this one, right? So okay, so something like here. So these are the lips cords, so they stay together. It's like a strange pose. Yeah, it doesn't look correct. So you need to also check what the profile thing, right? Instead of looking at just what would look good for the, we are creating a rest pose basically. Yeah, so this should be nice. We can tweak that later. It's much easier later. It's just that now I have to totally fix this thing. So now I don't need the tweak lips anymore. I need to okay, reset, fine. So it's just these ones, and this now will need to respect precisely the mesh. And so this is much simpler, since I still cannot. So because I'm using this, I don't need to look at the others. So this one's already fixed. So snapping to face. So they don't rotate, different from face project, which, well, no, it's control. Yeah, they not rotate, but they shrink to that, to their death, destruction. So here this is the bottom. Yeah, so this one is simple. It's just getting them exactly matching the surface. We see that this is working, and these will work together so to match exactly somewhere like here. And that's it. So this displacement of the mesh, I'm not sure what it is about. We can, I think it's the nose thing. Yeah, so here we have fixed that. I'm going to save and join area. Let's see what is happening now. We need to re-enable the property of deform property of the lips, bones, deform lips. So the idea to make this easier is to have the lips. Oh, this is much better now, thanks to all these adjustments. Well, there it's not perfect, but yeah. So here, if I dared to improve, to place this, there's some strange behavior. Something is going wrong, but we'll find out what it is. Probably some... yeah, I don't want this. Shrink wrap muzzle, okay. Outside surface. Oh yeah, these are okay. So they instead their shrink wrap is different. It's outside, but I'm not sure that will. All right, so. No, it's still not the... something there is critically happening. These are probably old dependency cycles, so I'm going to... they just haven't vanished. Oh, I'm snapping. Of course. Now for the real thing would be, yeah, something like that. So this is quite good. So with a better muzzle, as I thought, without struggling with organizing the rig properly, without it's much better, right? And without the subdivision modifier, it really looks like it's moving quite well, but there is some jumpiness, and this is also because of the muzzle. Unfortunately, would need more. Maybe this could help. Alright, let's say we got this and yeah, so here, yeah, less jumpiness. So this is very nice, and then I think I've solved many problems of this rig, or made a lot of improvements thanks to... okay, lost some parentings. This is okay there. This is parent 2. We have this thing. Mount position, okay. Master mount position, okay. So all this. So what's going wrong here? What? I probably just disable some both constraints in the process. Let's see one by one. Or it's the jaw thing that is... okay, so definitively it's not... the lips can't be causing those... they are just parent of the deformed lips. The automators is not causing that. I don't remember what... okay, it might be the arcades, the jaw, something that got... oh yes, because this also needs some repositioning right after the change that I've made. So this, first of all, I'm going to apply selection repose, right? This is to jaw top, which is not moving, so this is rotating. It's probably suffering some other influence from the control jaw top, so this could be changing. Okay, so this always is a problem, so let's do some cheesy thing here. Okay, this can be used to cheat. Still, it's probably this thing here. This. No, it's not the dump track. So something is rotating it, but it's not bone constraint to. Something is not shrink wrapping. Let's see the arcades. Need to change this now. This positionings. No, this won't really change, or will. This might have changed. Yeah. So basically here the problem is that the positioning of this in relation to the we can always offset these ones. This is not super problematic, but need to use the reference of the there. So now that I've changed a little it is important that these bones so they should be behind, and maybe they're shrink wrap. Yeah, they can be here indeed. It's the jaw. No, it's the jaw that this can be here indeed. So let's see. I have to made some. It will be likely that I have to apply their positions as well. So this could be tricky. So they can offset. This is not a problem. The problem is that the shrink wrap must be adequate to them, otherwise they will. So these ones, they are still, the lower ones are still being affected. So here I'm gonna change here to 0 and verify that everything is above surface. I don't. Doesn't matter here. Or just inside maybe. Not ideal, but yeah, you can push them behind if you want, so maybe that can so here out of question. This is just the dumped track that is affecting. So the important is that, so for example, if I turn this off, alright, there might be something else also. I don't know why they are changing here. Oh, because of the mouth thing, I guess. Copy transforms. Yeah, this one. So it's not the shrink wrap which are. Alright, then finally we can consider that through the armature here. This they are moving indirectly. This is fine. I probably want to retake the leaps, just reassessing leaps, and leaps. Okay, then leaps and arcades, leaps and arcades. Not this one. Where's this one? This is correct, although it's moving a little strange, same as here. So these are moving the arcades, but the ratio can be improved, yes. So this is the tricky part, because I've made a lot of crossing stuff just in order to it's too fast. Doesn't seem to be sufficient, and so this one is displacing for some reason. Of course, it relates not necessarily. So this is parented rate. No, this is parented mount top. So okay, so the problem was not that exactly. This is parented to the control drop top, mount master mount top. Okay, so it is this one. The problem is this parent here. No, this fake parent with custom space for the owner. So this is too strong. No, but this will move both, so it's not right, because this will move both things, so it's also not this, although it can. And for some reason just doing the inverse motion, it wasn't like that. So the jaws are correct. The arcades are correct. Is this that is not correct. So these are also correct. So this bone constraint here is local space. Yes, here should be local space. No, now it's working. No, there are some yeah. So still conflictus. So maybe here Not sure that will do local with parent. It does some weird mode. Yeah, so maybe this is not the case for the, this doesn't need the custom shape. This is just for the this one. Yeah, so it's too much for this. They don't need this, so I'm gonna turn this off. Oh, because this is sliding. No, it's this one that's going the opposite way. There we go. This is parent to def head. Okay. Just local space here. I don't remember that problem, so anyways, solved. And now the other bones, they should respond. Yeah, they don't need to be following. Okay, now enable this. Yeah, and then we can use this if we want. Should work. And then this one, we need to re-enable this one. But the jaw, the arcade, butt arcade is moving too much, right? So of course it interacts with this. This won't be trivial. I think I can't solve this with this one, so I need to find, yeah, so this is the mechanism set up. So in the end that will require more investigation. It's just some preference. I want to do something special, and it is already working, but for right, the essential is there, but I want just to make something a little more perfect. Here there's strange curvatures happening, but we'll leave it like that for now. Yeah, some change that I've made to the arcade smash itself and all that, so it's messing up a lot of the. Alright, so I wasn't able to get to the shape keys part, unfortunately, but this was a major advancement because I've learned many things about the how to set this up and the character design thing. Yes, so that's in the end it does really look better now, even though we do not have the so if I turn this subdivision, yeah, so let's say that there is a certain learning curve to many of those things, and the Universal Sonic Map rig also. There's so many things. Of course, I'm it's taking more time for me because I'm building on top of that, right? It doesn't have this jaw thing here. So it's a mixed cartoony setup that I'm making here. Let's see if that lags. No, this is better. There are some, yeah, I had that at some point. I need to readdress that later. It's probably something related to subdivision and the posing, then master skeleton. No, yeah, this. So can yeah. So I'm not gonna animate. So I need to make some better rigging of the cloth, and then. Okay, but I'm nearly finishing this melt rig setup, so I think this week we'll be able to have achieved this finally along this week, and shape keys will be for tomorrow, folks. There are things that, because they depend so much on the mesh, so these adjustments will be relevant, and now because I have a better mesh to start with. Also, I totally forgot there's puff cheeks to be made, so this is a cool feature. So some here, most here are for the melt, but there will be shape key. The only one for the will be the puff cheeks. It's for the muzzle. It says special, just not forget. So that's it, folks. Hope you enjoyed. We've got more progress, and we'll continue be doing this live stream, and then as we go, we got to get some animations done with this character, and then we can move. We can move on to other topics of interest for this completion of the rig of this character. So thanks for watching, folks. Take care and happy blending. See you tomorrow, or when you want, in the same around this time of the day or the night. See ya, folks.